I just want to make a quick review on these chapin, an update review on these chapin 24 volt. I think it's 24 volt or 20 volt or 18 volt backpack sprayers. So I've had them about a year, over a year. They worked good for the first six months, and then it started giving me some issues. I have two, this one and this one here. I recently bought the Green Touch, I think it is, the Green Touch one. So I'll pause that and after I'm done here and show you what I think about that one. So I like the pressure on this one, on these ones here. On the Green Touch ones, there's two settings, a low and a high. The high one is still a little high, but you know, when you want to get into the little crack, especially near to the lawn. So what I do, instead of just leaving it on, because there's some lawns where I've left it on and some spray gets a little on the lawn and it burns it out, so I turn off the unit and just spray that little bit there and then turn it on and proceed. But these ones, even with that, I still have to turn off the unit with these sprayers because it still has a little bit of pressure. You know, you always get that overspray. So but these two here, I think it's the pump. They're just, after a year's work, I guess they're worth it, you know. But you know, all the other sprayers give out about that time. I know I've had solos, I have had stills, you know, all the pumps have gone out within a year or two. Diaphragms, if you know, stuff like that. So I guess it's nothing, you know, out of the ordinary to expect these to last longer, I guess. But hopefully, I'll still have to call the dealer and ask them, see what I can do about getting a pump, or you know, where to go. But these pumps, you know, I'll have it on and then I'll let go of the wand, and typically they'll run about a second and just shut off. Now this one for sure just completely keeps running and water starts gushing out from the bottom. Right in here, I was just testing it. I have had it here for like a month and a half. Charged the batteries and I'm like, let's see what it's done. I've tried to I cleaned out the pump and all that stuff, but it's still, you've seen it leak a little bit right there. But you have the battery in and then you just let go of the trigger and water just starts coming down, and of course that goes down into your back, and that's not fun, especially when you're doing pre-emergence. You know, I've had my back stained and stuff like that. This one still works here, but once again, it's still, this one I'm still able to use. That one I'm not able to use anymore. So this one I do let go of the trigger and it kind of spurts for a few seconds and then shuts off, but and then starts leaking once again, like the same thing, starts leaking from here. It goes into the battery and then of course goes down to my back and then just goes from there. So what I do just for now, just to figure out if I'm going to keep it or not, because this doesn't fit. I have the Green Touch rack and I have the Green Touch spray, of course, and that fits perfect. And what I've noticed is these rails here, pretty much these sprayers don't fit on there. It fits with their sprayer. This little railing here sits on the rack, which makes it sit right about here. So if it's full, I've tested it out to where if it's too full, this thing would definitely fall off. And the Green Touch ones don't have this, so it sits on the base, so the belt sits a little higher, which supports it. You'll see in a bit when I should go over there. But these, a year's worth, 130 something like that on Amazon. For a year's worth, it definitely, once again, it gets compared to the Solo and all that. I'd rather get one of these because, you know, you're looking at a Solo for $80, $100. So for another $30, you can buy this one, and you just have to worry about, of course, charging the battery once a week, because you do have to charge these ones at least once a week. If not, the batteries are dead. You can maybe get away with 2 weeks if you don't use it too much, but you know, if you're using it, you know, for weed control, just basic weed control, you know, I typically have to. You start noticing after a week and a half or so, depending on once again how heavy of usage you use, the battery does drain. And I have a few of them up there. Also the original batteries are the black ones, and I bought the other one, the white and black one, off of Amazon, and those are a little better with the charge and the power a little bit, but the black ones, the batteries just die. They don't hold the power anymore. So they have there's a charger that connects to here, and then the charger, let's see, it flashes and it tells you after a certain amount of time. If it flashes green, it takes like 3 hours to flash. So it'll flash green, and it'll do a solid green, and that means it's charged. And if it goes to a red and it just goes a real fast blink, that means that the battery's bad. So that's why, you know, during that time too, that went bad. So pretty much, I'm thinking about, so for the price for this, let's say 150, let's say, because just depending on which link you get, stuff like that, you'll pay about 150 compared to the green touch is 250, right about there. So is it worth it? I'm not sure. I've only had the green touch about 2 months, and it works good, works great. So it's just a matter of within a year figuring out, you know, seeing where it's at. But for the price, definitely. If you didn't have the racks, I usually put it in the back of my truck and just put a strap, tie it back for it won't be, you know, flopping over anywhere. But for a year's worth compared to the Solo, I'd rather get one of these instead of just pumping and pumping and pumping and pumping away. It's just, I finally had to look for something because there was just so much. All the houses I have, pumping away all day, it just, on top of raking and holding the weed eater, you know, it just takes a toll on you. So it's worth it for years worth of work, you know. So I'm gonna pause it, go to the other one, and show you guys. All right, here's a green touch one. So as you can see there, oh, that doesn't have a rail on the bottom. There's the two little settings, high and low, I believe, whichever one. I know I always hear people, that's a little weird because if you go up, it's low. If you go down, it's high. So either way, up, down, low. Nice thing about this one, battery goes back here, so it's nice and covered instead of in the bottom like the other one. So the biggest thing, once again, the rack, that there, so you can see it's just nice and good. These straps are pretty good. You just get it and it's good to go. This side, so it's, there you go. So you unloosen it, and then this little clip here comes off. The one thing that I don't like about this one compared to the chapin is these in the bottom don't have a little strap to tie. So what I like to do, kind of like with backpacks back in high school, you kind of just loosen them up and do the same thing that I do with my blower. I loosen up the harness, you know, loosen it up, put it in the rack. You know, just so you don't have to be struggling pulling your arm through. Put it through and then just pull the strap. Pull the strap. There would be like a little strap right here. Pull that down to adjust and, you know, get it all comfortable and going. That's one thing I don't like about these straps. But besides that, everything else is good. The pressure, the wand. It's a little tough to get the wand out from here. So I've learned. At first, I would try to go out this way, and I learned to push out, and it comes real. And that was with one hand, as you guys can see. Sorry, as you guys can see, and it's real easy. You know, as you get the unit, you learn the little ins and outs. So that's hard, and that's easy right there. To take out the one out of the little holster, which is nice compared to the other one, the chapin. I like how you can put that there instead of putting it up here. You know, they have a little compartment up here, and then I would put it in the back of my truck. As you see, the other spare, that's just like a backup just in case batteries waste, but it never does. I always make sure to charge it once a week, just to make sure to have charge. But I love this one so far. We'll see once again within a year's time how it comes. So I heard something in my pool and I just had to pause it, but so far so good. I love this one so far. I know they just came out with the newer one. This is the 4 gallon. They came out with like a 2.5 gallon to where you can adjust the pressure that's coming out. The pressure on the two. I'll show you real quick. So on the one, it's pretty good compare. So I know because there's a lot of pressure. So let's see. So you can see that's one there, and then 2. Oh, that's one, sorry. So 2 is up, 1 is down. And it's not that much of a difference as far as distance, but the quantity of what comes out, you could do jobs faster. So I'm not sure, for the same price, and just get this one and just learn how to use it. Once again, if you're next to the lawn, shut it off, and then it's just gonna drop a small little bead. And what I've done here, this one started coming off. I've just used the bolts here like that. This one came off, so I switched it over to that one because I only have one once again. And I thought my other one would fit here, but once again it didn't. As you can see here, the strap is here, so imagine it having a rail, and you know the strap pretty much is right here on the other one. So with it being heavy, you know, I would only fill it up halfway to have it here, but this is just a weed killer one. The other one's for pre-emergence and stuff like that. This one I bolted it on like that. With this one, I just want to see what it would be the difference. I actually put bolts for it can, you know, support and hold better. That's pretty much it. I just want to show more with the chapin and how it's not held up throughout, I guess, the time. Hoping that I would last at least 2-3 years. Once again, just referencing that to the old style pump sprayers, and them only really holding out about a year or two. So I'll put a link or something like that in for the chapin one over in on Amazon, and hope this helps someone. Take care.